This is such a big thing, right?
Thank you.
Come on, Jim. Good morning, Colin.
Morning.
Thank you very much for coming on the show. Fantastic. Thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you for-
I wanted to be kind of businesslike.
Can I see the other girls?
Hello and welcome to Qatar's first sports podcast, In the Game. I'm your host, Steve Mackey, and we can't wait to introduce you to everything that is sports here in Qatar and afar. We're going to be bringing you personalities, company owners, institutions, individuals that are making a real difference. So, with us, enjoy the journey.
It's fun, man. Sports is fun.
Hello and welcome to In the Game, Qatar's first sports podcast. And today is another day with QST and another cohort. And this has got to be one of my favorites. Mohammed, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Steve.
I literally am so excited. I really am, because I've seen your journey for a long time now, especially with the Intellect program. And you were one of the Intellect programs that went through to the proper cohort of the, what is it? It's the Accelerator program.
Yeah, we went from the Intellect program, we graduated on to the Accelerator program, then on, and it's been almost like more than 4 months of journey right now. And we are in the Accelerator program ongoing till the end of, I think, June. Yeah.
Congratulations. You have come a massive way. But your idea, your concept, Wago.
Yeah.
It's kind of, your concept is a brilliant concept. You've already got it very established in India, and you've now got it established in Qatar. Could you tell us all about it?
So Juego Football is an application which we built for amateur football players and grassroots level football players. So what we do is we track the performance of all these players, and based on their performance, give them a chance to be scouted by clubs and academies. So what we are doing here is we are filling the gap between the young talented players who have lack of access to resources to these clubs, and we are filling a gap for the clubs to identify a large amount of players from the areas they want to identify them, but purely based on performance data and not just gut feeling or just watching a player for let's say 45 minutes. To give you an example of how it goes, so imagine if I am a scout and I go to a ground to see a match between few players, and I want to scout someone of them. Imagine the player was having one bad day that particular day, he misses out to perform, and he loses that opportunity, you see. So using our application, he can track his data over a month, over a year, and when we present it to the scouts, it's not just 1 day or 45 minutes. We give them the data, performance data of that player for 1 whole month. So he never misses out a chance, and the scouts, they can do a very good scouting based on the data that's given. So that's what makes us more effective and interesting for both the players as well as the scouts in the countries we are in.
You're doing fantastic work. How is it going from you? What's the results like that you're getting so far?
So we started off in by the end of 2020. We have been in the market for a few months now, and we have more than 2,000 active football players on our platform, all using our platform to track their performance. And we have already 3 football academies partnered with. We are their official talent discovery partners. So what happens is whenever a football match happens, we track every single player on that match, and we compile their data, and then we convert it into football metrics and present it to the scouts. And the breakthrough we had in the past few weeks is that we have started enabled actually syncing their wearable devices to our application. So Fitbit is the partner we have partnered with right now. So if you're having a Fitbit watch, you can just wear it and play it in the game. We will track all your data, intense data, even the GPS. If you have a GPS tracking on your device, we get your heat map, and then we share it with you as well as the scout. So it's like a player profile is created, and you grow it by playing it. So it's a gamified version of scouting data, if you ask me.
Wow, yeah. But that's a major step forward for you.
Yeah, it's been a very busy few months, but we are happy to have Fitbit on board. We're currently working with Huawei and Apple to get their devices on board too, but it's in process, and it will be available on the app very, very soon.
Whoa. And what is the feedback so far? What kind of feedback are you getting, and what Yeah, let's start with that. What's the feedback you're getting?
So actually, the thing with us is like we develop the platform based on feedbacks. Like our customer is the one who shows us our path. That's what we follow. You see. So when we develop a device, we test it in the market. We are very, we maintain the communication with the players and the scouts on a daily basis. We give them the platform. We ask them what you feel is good about it. What do you want to change in this? And that's how we have worked with them. And the feedback so far is excellent. The players who are using it, they're very happy with it. And the best part of it, it's like the app can be used in two ways. It can be used for building your professional career, or like for players like me. I'm not going into a professional football career as of now, but I play football on a regular basis to stay healthy because I love the game. But for me, I can develop my player profile in the application. And for each game I play, for each win I have in every match, I get a point in the application, and I can redeem these points with all our partners. For example, I can redeem with maybe Adidas or Nike in the future. If I get some points from playing, I can buy their merchandise from all those points. So there's like two parts of this application. For professional players, it's about getting scouted. For players like me who are playing to stay healthy, it incentivizes me to stay healthy. So that, the more I play, the more I stay healthy, I get points and I can redeem it. So it's like a gamified version of everything. And that has been amazing for this, and the customers and the users love that factor of it, that it's gamified and it has a community feel to it, and that's what we're trying to build.
So if you go and what would you need to do if you were going to record? Is it a recording or is it just
no it's very simple. Before the match, you just take your application, switch it on, and just tell the application you're going to play a game in this location, select it on the map, and invite your friends over. That's all you have to do in the application. You go play the match, you wear your wearable, it's your Fitbit or your MI watch or your iWatch, just wear it, play in the ground. After the match, come back, sync your device with the application. It tracks every single data on that device and syncs it with the match, and that's it. Voila, your performance is tracked.
So what type of things does it record? What is it, the factors that it's recording on your watch?
So basically what performances record is like what kind of play you do. So the space which you're playing, the area you're covering, as if you're a defensive player, are you covering all the defensive parts of the game? Are in your heat map? Are you helping to assist? Are you helping to score? The assist and the scores are actually entered after the game by the captain. So, but all other data which can be tracked from a device is tracked, and then it's conveyed into this, and the scout, it can see how consistent you are on every game, your speed, your vision of the game, how effective you were, how important you were in the game for the assists and the goals and things like that. So the tracking is based completely from the device and manually, so both are synced together to create your player profile along with it. So that's the part of it.
And you're teaming up with football clubs too with this app?
Yeah. So what we do is like the tracking we do is basically young amateur footballers. So the football clubs are very interested to find these talents and give them a chance to be part of their academies, where they can grow this player and later on maybe sign this player in their official football teams. So right now in India, we have partnered with a few football clubs in Kerala. So what we do for them is like we run scouting campaigns for them on a monthly basis. The data is shared with them in the end of the month, and then they do trials for selected players from that list. You see, so there was one scouting which happened in India. We did a scouting of close to 100 players. We provided the list to the club, and they selected like 30 players out of that who they felt like matched their requirement. And out of the 30 players, they actually signed close to 9 players after giving them trials. So that's like a player, those 9 players were not even on their radar. They didn't know these players existed. We took them, we showed them their potential, we give it to the clubs, and the clubs give them a trial. They loved them, they signed them. So that's what our journey is. That's what we want to do. We want to take an amateur player, give him a chance at being professional, and guide him in the journey. And that's what we do.
With that story you've just given me, right? You've just potentially changed 9 people's lives with your application already. And with that, that's a major, major achievement. How does that make you and your your team feel?
It's very accomplishing for me, and because for me, I was an amateur league player in my younger days, and I have seen a lot of talented players I have played with not go professional, And some of them, like, actually, I was surprised. I was so sure this player is going to be a big hit in professionally, but he didn't, because he didn't have access to these resources. And most of the time, unfortunately, the thing is, whenever scoutings happen, it's very biased. Sometimes it is based on how famous someone of yours is and how much access you have, the relation you have to the club, rather than the talent is focused. So what we are doing right now here, anyone in the community, anyone, anywhere, if you have talent, you need to get that opportunity. And that's what we are trying to give. And when you give few players that opportunity, and in the end the result comes out as you wanted, like for these 9 players getting signed, that is the kind of achievement our team wants, and that's what makes us happy, and that's gives us a fulfillment, and that's the vision we are behind. That's exactly what we want to do, and that's, I think, it's a starting step. And the sooner we sign more clubs and academies and more players onto the platform, I think a lot of more players can go professional using this platform. And the best part of this, it's not localized to a region. So a player who was an amateur league player in India, if he is performing very good, maybe a scout from Qatar wants to sign him. You don't know. So it's like a global platform, and that's what makes it more, advantages for these players. You can be signed by anyone who has partnered with us. It can be from Qatar, it can be from Europe, in the future maybe from any country where the big clubs are.
That's phenomenal. It really is. And as you said, the process is it's going to help some people just miss out. Like you just said, there's some people that missed out. They couldn't get to that trial, or there was something that happened, and they're not going to be just washed away anymore. They can actually go back and just prove exactly what they are over a period of time. And the gamification of this, you can have competitions with your friends and all from not just in India, but you could be competing against somebody in America, all around the world.
Yeah, we actually did a competition in January in Qatar. So we did a competition called Juego Top 11 Players, where we did a competition. We ran the competition for 2 months. We told them every player has to use the application and play. We will be tracking every player. And the end of March, we found, we decided from the points and the stats and the performance, we decide who are the top 11 players in Juego Football application. And we just announced them in March, and we identified top 11 players in Qatar. And it was very effective. More than 300 players participated in the competition only from Qatar, and it was amazing. For the player who won it, it's like being on top of every player in Qatar. Out of all the 300, he was the best in that 3 months, and that's what shows like how talented he is in football, and he is probably going to go professional very soon.
I love your progress. I really do. I'm privileged that I've watched your progress over those months that you've been with QST. What difference has QST made to you in your startup?
A very huge difference, actually. And personally, I would recommend anyone in the sports industry in Qatar to give a try to be in QST, because that's the place where you want to be if you're a sport tech company. QST, just the connections they bring in, the mentors they bring in, and the possibilities they open for you, it accelerates our growth. Like you've known us from the journey from Intlaq, from the beginning. You've seen how we started off, but once QST got involved, once the doors they opened for us, the connections they made, the meetings they set up for us, that is what took us from a very small company to a bit more better company and larger company in a very fast pace. From 0 to 2,000 plus users, that's like in few months, and that's something which was possible with the help of QST, and that's something very valuable for us.
And I can't. It couldn't have happened to a nicer team, because you've got an amazing team, and you deserve everything that's coming to you, because your potential is huge. And it's one of those stories that I love talking about, because you just done something just for the love of it. Now we're going on to the business side of things. What was those difficulties in the beginning? Did you ever feel like you were going to give in?
To be frank, running a startup is not easy. It's very difficult. It's borderline crucial to every situation, and I've been part of the startup ecosystem in Qatar for a very long time, and this idea has been with me and my co-founder Zohaib for a long time, and we just decided when 1 year back, okay, maybe this is the right time to get in. And obviously, like every other startup, the journey is difficult. But giving up was never a thought that comes into my mind, because I always feel you have to look at every situation in a positive manner. So if you're achieving something, that's because you have done something right. And if something is going wrong, that is some lesson you have to learn. And learning that lesson only takes your journey in a much faster way in the next step. That's what I believe in, and that has been very effective for us, having a positive mentality, but a realistic positive mentality, not just blindly being positive. And the journey, it has been tough in the beginning, because when you're a small company and a startup, and signing up with big clubs is a very difficult situation. But like I always tell, if your product is valuable, if it gives value to someone, and if it has sales, every other things falls in line, and the growth will naturally come in. So when you go to a club, when you go to an academy, you show your product, and they see the value they get from it, the actual value, and they feel like, okay, this is going to help us grow it, this is going to help us do something much more in an economical way, they will come to you. They will be happy to partner with us. And that's what happened to us. And fortunately, we were in the right place at the right time with the right people, and it has helped a lot.
What has been the biggest difficulties that you faced, and how did you overcome them?
So the biggest difficulty was, I would say, the first meeting. The first meeting we have to get with the club, because you have to convince them, you have to show them with an idea. We have to convince how this idea is going to change. And only if they accept the idea, then you can give them a trial of how this happens. So that was one of the biggest difficulties. But once you solve it the first meeting, the next meetings are much more easier, because you can always have the confidence, okay, this product works, and I can show them the value to it, because they will understand. And then another challenge, obviously, like for everyone, has been COVID, because we depend a lot on football games happening to track the performance. And when COVID comes in, the football games are temporarily stopped. So that also has been a challenge for us. But hopefully things are getting better in places, and hopefully in the other places, I hope it gets better soon. So yeah, that's the kind of things we deal with. But since we are a startup, we are a company which has agility. We can move around things very fast in our own manner, and that's the best thing about being a startup in an early stage. You can always move in different directions and solve your problems in a much faster pace. But once you become more established, it's a bit more difficult. But we try to keep it in this manner and get established. Always be agile is something we always follow. And we don't, if we have a feature in our application, and even if we love it to the core, if the customer doesn't like it, and if the customer says this is not how it wants, and if that's the feedback, we always think around it. So it's not like you have to be fixed at a point. You have to keep an open mind. You have to listen to your customers, which is very important, and it'll naturally show you the journey.
And the one good thing, and I keep on saying this, I've been lucky enough to have known you for some time now, and see you on this journey and the progress that you've all made. And it is, your potential is just huge. But the niceness, the humbleness about you all is just phenomenal. And it's like the journey that you're going on. Every time I used to come in every week, I used to hear you kind of be positive and tell us the different advances that you made. And there was always some advancement that you were making. It's like, what's your dreams? What's your dreams and aspirations for the next, I don't know, a year? What are you hoping that's going to come to fruition?
So if I can, the dream, I can tell you in an example. Let's say there is a local talent in Qatar. Okay, he's very talented. Let's say a very talented player. I want to find that player. If he's not in anyone's radar list, give him a chance to be in front of the clubs in Qatar, in front of the national teams, and imagine getting that player to play for the Qatar national team at the end of the day. That's the kind of thing we want to do for everyone. Take them from where they are right now. If they do not have an opportunity, give them an opportunity and grow. And right now we are focused on India and Qatar. We are signing multiple clubs in the coming months, hopefully. And we want to be established as a strong amateur player in Qatar and India at the present, and then expand outside to other Middle East regions here. And that's what the focus we have for the coming years. And yeah, we hopefully will reach the target, because we are going in a fast pace. And yeah, that's how we are growing.
I've always said to people, this platform that we've got in the game it's not an advertisement, but we're going to do some advertising now. And okay. It's the advertising I want you to do, because I believe in what you're saying. When you say we're trying to find one player that we can discover here in Qatar, tell us now, there's a big football community here. Tell
Yeah,
us
yeah.
exactly what they should be doing to get your app in place.
They should just go to our website, thejuego.com, download the application.
Spell it, please, because I know
Okay.
it's a Spanish name.
Yeah, it's actually a Spanish word, juego, but it means when you say the word juego football, it means I play football. So that's the name, what that means. So our website is the juego, that is thejuego.com. Once you go there, you can download the application on both Android and iOS, create your player profile, start playing football when it is allowed to be played in your country, and then track your performance. And that's all you have to do. We will come and find you if you have the talent.
Whoa. And you say you come and find them. How much time and effort do you put into that? Or do you have pointers in your software where you're finding out some exceptional talent?
So in our software, it detects if a player plays more than 2 games in a week, it naturally detects the player and then picks him up in the software in our dashboard and shows us as a potential player who we can track. And then the software looks into his performance for 2 weeks and understands what kind of performance he has and matches against the best players on the platform. And if he's coming up in the ranks, definitely he'll be put up. But the good thing about our platform is we do not just prefer the top 5 or the top 10. We go for everyone. We look at everyone, we look at everyone's performance, and we cross-check it with the team on a daily basis. And that's how we track the players, because that is the purpose of our application. If we just want to track top 5 players, that defeats the purpose. We want to give everyone a chance. So the software doesn't just pick the best player, it picks everyone who has a potential. And anyone who uses the application is on our radar, and the more he plays, the more he's tracked. And everyone's data is shared with the scouts we have. So if you play even one game, Steve, if you go and play one game, and if you did good in that game, Steve, you are in the radar too. So yeah.
I won't be in that team. I'll tell you honestly, it won't be in that. My days have gone. I've got to be honest, football. But I think what you're doing is phenomenal. I really do.
Thank you.
And I know that you said you're starting it in India and you're starting it here in Qatar. But if I've got the app and I'm around the world, I could potentially, there's nothing stopping me from using it, right?
No, you can use the application from anywhere in the world. Why we say we are in India and Qatar is like because of the partnerships. So if you're a player playing in India, we have clubs partnered within India. They prefer the local players, so they will first look into the players in India. That's how it works. So that's why we mention we are in India and Qatar. But even if you're in the US, in the Europe, in other Middle Eastern countries, you can just download the app and start using it. You're already on our radar. We will be tracking you. But once we have a partnership in the country you are in, your data will be preferred by the scouts. But at the same time, like I told you, the players we are tracking in India, we do give their data to the scouts in Qatar too. So, but if they are interested, they can sign. But in the current situation, when a young player comes up, normally what happens is the clubs in their country prefer to grow them up, and then in the later stage go into the next countries. So that's why we always say we are present in these 2 countries, but our app can be downloaded from anywhere and used by anyone.
I find it phenomenal. And one of those things that I love again about you is that you can scale this up at a moment's notice. There is no scalability problems whatsoever. You could be finding partners in countries all over the world. I can't wait for you to go to Africa, because this is something that I think that will be an absolute gem in Africa for people to be able to use.
Africa is a country with huge potential talents, and there are a lot of amazing players who come out from there, and definitely that's a market we want to be in, and we hopefully will be expanding there very soon, because we are in talks with few academies who are interested in tracking players in Africa, even though if they are not present there. So we are trying to work it out, and like you said, it's very easy for us to scale this product. The only thing stopping us is quality. We make sure the clubs and academies we are partnering with are very good clubs and academies, which will allow the players to grow in a very professional manner. And we, although we can scale just very randomly, we do not want to do that. We want to go in a very good way, so that all the programs and the partnerships we offer for the players are like exactly very valuable. So for example, we are trying to partnership with a club in India. So they are doing scouting for a club in Europe. So that's the kind of partnerships we want to do, because that gives the player a huge potential to be in any kind of market you want. So if you're tracked by that academy in India, you have a potential to play in Europe in the future too. So that's the quality we are trying to connect, and definitely Africa is on the radar, and we will be launching there very soon, hopefully.
I honestly believe one of the things that I believe with you, and I've got to say, excuse me, is that I believe that there's a marketplace out there for scholarships. I know that in the States, for example, they run so many soccer programs. And I think this is going to be absolutely phenomenal for you to be able to tap into, so that people can already see the level of people that you've got on your books. It's brilliant. And I do want to bring, this is your moment, and I think that you've done a fantastic job in saying the things that you've said already. I just want to, also, my job this week is one of the best jobs in the world. I'm interviewing every 10 of the cohorts in Qatar Sports Tech.
Amazing. There are many amazing participants in this cohort.
And this is your moment, and I just want to get this out now, because this is a type of teamwork and a type of collaboration that you do. I said to you, what did you think? And you couldn't stop by telling me all those ones that you were so in admiration of. All the other groups that you're in admiration for, and what was exciting for you, for them. You're fantastic. I can't believe how far you're going to go, and it just started with just the love of the game. This whole project has been very close to me and my co-founder. We have been playing football all our life. We love this game. We have cried over the game. We have fought over the game. We have laughed over the game, because it's something very close. And doing working in a project which is related to the game, that's the best thing I could have asked for. Startup journeys are good, but if you're doing a startup which gives you happiness with the concept and vision behind it, even the toughest journeys look happy. So that's what we are going through right now. And like you said, there are amazing talents in this cohort, and I'm very happy to be in this cohort with them, because there's a lot to learn from them, and at the same time a lot of help and things we can do for each other. And hopefully we'll be able to go on a much faster pace, and everyone around the world would get a chance to be out there and do things much normally, I hope, very soon. And that's when we'll grow. You have a company with a team that's got amazing talent. You started at the very beginning, and you're going to be a special unit. You're going to give people the opportunity to shine. And to me, that's just unbelievable. If you can do that, and I know that you're going to do it, you're doing amazing things. And I know you're going to.
Thank you, Steve, for your kind words. Thank you so much for saying that. The team has been a rock for me. They joined us in the beginning, and they knew the vision behind it, and they have stuck to it. And all of them work very hard, and I'm happy to be part of this team.
Give us your one tip for any startups out there right now on what they should make sure they do.
So for any startup in any country, the most important thing I would say is your product should do sales, because that is the one thing that brings everything together. If you have a good concept and if you believe in it, do stick to it. Even if 100 people or 1,000 people tell you that this is not going to work, if you kind of feel inside yourself that this product you're building can be of value to someone else and can change their life in different manners, stick to it, work on it, keep your head down, do the work, and once you have the results, people will come to you. That's the thing in a nutshell. You don't have to be bothered about what others say. If you believe your product and you know that you can sell it, build the product, sell it, create the sales, everything else will fall in the line with you. So sales and believing in your project is the most important thing, I think.
I want you to make one more promise. I know you said that you're going to come on the podcast. You'll come on our podcast, but please let this be the first time. We want to hear about all your news. We want to be anything that's breaking. I want you to come back on and share with others. I want, as soon as you're going into expansion mode and you are looking at those places in Africa, let us kind of help promote your situation as much as possible. You deserve everything that's coming to you, my friend. You have done a wonderful, wonderful job. I'm so privileged that you've come on today.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you for all these kind words. Definitely, I will love to be on the podcast again. And I hope this is the first one I do with you, and much more to come. And it has been a privilege to know you and work with you, and being mentor in the NTLAG program. It was amazing, your sessions, and hopefully we can continue the journey much more further. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much indeed. And everybody, thanks for listening. I hope you just understand exactly what Mohammed's done here. It's exceptional. And you can do it too. It's not just open to a few. And this is enough. Before I finish, it would be great if you got funding to a certain degree, but funding's not going to hold you back, right?
No. Funding is a part of the journey. That's always how it should be. Definitely, if you want to start a project, you need funding, but always raise a bit more than what you need, and then go on with the work. And as soon as you start getting sales, and as soon as your product is, doing things in the market, everyone who wants to fund you will be there at your doorstep, and then you can choose. So never consider funding as a blockade for doing something. It's just something that is happening parallel to your project. Always give preference to your project. Make sure you start your sales. Everything else will fall in line. That's what I always tell.
And that's why we love you. Everybody, thanks for listening. This has been one of those. It's going to be a special one. I'm going to remember this one for quite some time. Thank you ever so much for listening. Anyway, bye for now. Everyone, thank you for listening. Please send us your feedback on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And don't forget to review us on your favorite podcast app.